So as you mentioned before, you mentioned DACT, then some large exercises. So how did the F-15 fare against, the Hornets and the F-16s like you mentioned?
Oh, Mike, we beat everybody. Nobody can touch us. And of course, that's the right
Yeah.
answer. Everybody's dead. uh, it was a great airplane. Now, I have to caveat this when I flew, so, it's a different ball game now.
Yeah.
I was flying semi-active radars, AIM-7s. I was flying early lot AMRAAMs. As a matter of fact, I think I shot one of the first, if not the first AMRAAM ever on
Oh,
a
wow.
Mississippi Eagle. So, I got to go through those tactics, the old world tactics, where we'd go out on a BFM sortie and the old timer would say, we're papas and guns today, AIM-9 papas. But, I flew with Mikes and never flew with an X. But we, in a DCA scenario, pre-strike sweep, cap, all these roles that we would fly in, it was phenomenal. And, I feel like when I was an Eagle, even at the end of my career, I felt like, every single day we were going to go up and fight, we we're going to win. I mean, I just felt 100% confident we were going to win. Now, if you're going to go fly BFM 1v1 with a Swamp Fox and F-16 up in South Carolina when they got their new model F-16s, well, that's a different story.
Yeah.
And, but I flew, against Hornets on a regular basis. Never flew against the MiG-29, though a lot of my friends, flew against the MiG-29. But from my era, anyways, I felt like we were, the big dog in the sky for sure. There were times in BFM scenarios where I didn't feel like, we had the advantage, but for the most part, because that's all we did is flew BFM, ACT, DACT every single day. I felt like, we were top of our game, and I felt like we were in the right jet, the right platform, the right weapon system, the right radar, the right raw gear. I mean, we had just great systems.
Absolutely. And did you ever get to train with the RAF or any other European nations?
No, but the best piano player and the best bar and crud player I think I ever met in my life was a guy call sign Loins. He was a RAF exchange pilot. He was an RTU instructor at the 426th. But that's it. I did get a chance to go fly with the Red Arrows. So
nice.
I got to fly a pre-workup, full air show gig with the Red Arrows in the backseat of a Hawker. So that was really cool. But that's the only time that I've interfaced with the RAF.
Yeah, it's crazy. You saw I got to fly with the Red Arrows. Like, people would dream for that. It's incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was up in Canada when I did that. Red Arrows were over, and I knew a guy pretty well that was on the Red Arrows. So we did that. I think what struck me the most about that was, for the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels, from what I could tell at the time, there's a lot of comm on the radios, and the flight lead's talking a lot to have prerequisites on each maneuver. But what struck me about the Red Arrows is they briefed on the wingtip. So everybody gathered around a wing, and I think it was raining that day, and we did our briefing, which was cool. And pretty much it was standard. So it was pretty much, the briefing was, okay, standard. I think we had a couple of admin and some unusual things to brief, but for the most part, it went really quickly. We stepped to the jet, and when I flew with the Red Arrows, a lot of stuff was done on a mic zipper, and so lots of clicks, which was really cool, and that struck me. And then the Hawker was a neat little jet. I was surprised at how quickly it get his energy back. You push the stick up a little less than 1G, it accelerates. It was a neat little jet for sure.
Brilliant stuff. So, Murph, you mentioned there like a couple of deployments there. I think you mentioned Singapore and I think was it Maple Flag. Can you tell us how you felt going to these like big exercises and going abroad?
Well, Maple Flag was an eye opener for me because I went there as a young flight lead, and it was heavy work, and it was very challenging. But the flying was unbelievable. I mean, to see that many airplanes in the sky and that small of a piece of airspace, and to have that experience that, hey, this is close to the rigors that we're going to expect in combat, was just unbelievable. I also really liked it because a lot of the NATO nations were participating, so it wasn't just an American exercise. So, we got a chance to. Well, I guess that was one occasion. I think there were tornadoes there. I can't remember what RAF platform was there, but there were folks from all over the world there, which was a great experience. And I think what I remember most is almost winning the Crud Championship and seeing one of my teammates. I don't know if he got thrown out of the window, but almost got close to thrown out of the window. It was very, it was a big boy experience. I remember the crud table at Maple Flag.